Hello everyone, Paul here in a RoJoBe Music Workshop. Okay, in today's video I'm going to be working on this guy. Okay, so what are we doing? Let's have a closer look. So, for those of you who know anything about musical instruments, the string action is too high, so I need to lower the string action. Now normally you can see that from the body to the neck, actually the neck starts to come up a little bit. Now ideally the neck should angle back. So the proper way to fix this would be to get inside it, so take the back off or the top, which means undoing the glue and prying everything off, and then remove the neck and reset it so that it's angled back a bit more. And there are a number of ways you can do that. You can either put a shim in the front part to lift the front, or you can take some material off of the back half to bring the back down. So I would have to get inside the instrument, take it apart with the risk of breaking it, and then this neck is glued and screwed into place. So just to get the neck off is already major surgery. And then to angle the neck, either with a shim at the front or to take some material off the back to bring the whole thing back, it's a very, very precise operation. I can do it. It can be done, but all of that work and to get the neck exactly at the right angle side to side and exactly the right angle back to front is very, very precise. It's very tricky. Like I said, I can do it, but that is a hell of a lot of work. So I'm going to do it a different way, bit of a cheat really. So the action does need to come down a little bit at the nut end. The strings are a little bit high on the first fret as well. But I'm going to do that last, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it this end. So what you can do as a quick fix is lower the bridge. So you can either cut the slots lower or you can cut the underside of the feet lower. Because this isn't a fixed bridge, it's a floating bridge, so it moves up and down for intonation. So I can easily take it off. But as I said before, this only ever was a temporary bridge. And I have already off camera made a new bridge. Now if you look at the height of that bridge and then this one, you can see there's already quite a lot of difference in the height of the bridge. So this bridge is made of bone, a much better material for bridge. This is, I think it's wood, it might even be bamboo, I'm not sure. And it's fine, it does the job, but this will be better. So it's already quite a bit lower than the original bridge, and also the entire bottom of it is flat, whereas this one has feet, one either side. So the more material you have in contact with the body, the better the sound transition is into the body. So you just get a better sound. Okay, so I'm going to put a lower bridge on it, but if you look carefully here, where the strings come across to the bridge and then back here, there's not very much break angle there. Now you need the angle, the strings coming down at the back, behind the bridge, to put pressure on the bridge so that you have the sound transition going through the body. If the strings are basically straight across the bridge, then there's no real pressure on there, and the bridge can move, and also you get string buzz and you don't get good sound transference. So if I'm going to put a lower bridge on this, I then need to bring the angle of the strings back here down. So how do I go about that? Well, I'm actually going to do something quite drastic. I'm not sure if anybody has ever done it before, but I'm certainly going to give it a go. So with this tailpiece, the strings go through holes in the tailpiece here, and I've got a row of holes here, and you can see I've got another row of holes lower down. So I'm going to use those holes, but now you're not going to be able to see it, by doing that, the strings are then going to be touching the body back here. So to overcome that, I'm actually going to cut grooves in the body itself. So where the string comes back here to down here, I'm going to cut a slot here, here and here for each of the strings to allow them to go down into the body and through into these lower holes, which will then bring the strings down at a better angle, allowing more pressure on the bridge and better sound transfer. So that's the most of what I'm going to be doing on this, but I'm also going to add another fret here. For some reason when I built this, I put all the frets in and I missed one down here, so I'm going to put another one in there. I'm going to do that job first, because for both of these jobs that I've got to do, the fret and this, the strings have got to come off anyway. So I'm going to do that first. So let's make a start on that. Okay, so let's get a good angle there. Okay, so first things first, I need to loosen the strings. So I haven't got a lot of string wound on these, so they come down quite quickly. Okay, so I'll take the bridge out. Now I've already marked several things here. So for a start, I've marked where the bridge goes in pencil. I've marked where the strings go here, here and here. I've marked with pencil around the edge of the tailpiece so that I know where my boundaries are for when I'm doing the cutting. Okay, so now that I've got all the strings loose, to save a little bit of time, I'm going to remove the tailpiece and take the strings off that way. So I need a Phillips screwdriver and just take out the screw at the end of the tailpiece there. Now I may end up lowering this tailpiece, i.e. lower it that way. I've got a way I can do that, which will give me even more adjustment, as it were. Okay, that's stuck on there quite well. Let's just loosen those strings a bit more. Wow, that's really stuck on there. Let's get this way. Oops, sorry about that. Knocked the camera over. Okay. So let's just give it a little tap with a rubber mallet. There we go. Let's get it now. Okay. Sorry, let's just adjust you up a little bit there. Okay. So, again, you can see the pencil mark here for the bridge, 3 pencil marks there for where the strings go, and a pencil outline of where the tailpiece goes. So, let's get those out of the way. I'm not going to... Yes, I am going to take the strings out because they've got to come out through the tailpiece anyway. Okay, let's remove those. Get that all out of my way. Let's see what I'm doing here. Handle those wires. Next one. Two. Now, that's wrapped around a lot. I'm just going to cut the end of that off. Time saving. Okay, right, so that's the strings out of the way. Put those to one side, deal with those later. Okay, so new fret. So the first thing I need to do is to mark where the fret is going to go using my fretboard template. So I'll just line up where these two frets are. Let's see. Okay, so now I can see exactly where this fret has to go. So now I have to make sure this is really dead accurate, because even a fraction of a millimetre or a few thousandths of an inch out and it won't play properly. So very carefully mark with a pencil where that's going to go. If I can see that. And this side as well. Okay. So I'll draw the line and then I will measure it again just to make sure it's in the right place before I do any cutting. Okay. Right, how does that look? Okay, that looks fine. So now I need my fret saw to cut the slot. Just measure one more time just to be 100% certain that's right. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Right. So, very carefully cut the slot. I'll just make a start on the cut. And then measure one last time just to check. Okay, that's perfect. So I can carry on and do the cut. Now it doesn't need to be too deep. How's that? A little bit more. That's deep enough. Right, now I need some fret wire. So I have a pack of fret wire here, new fret wire. These are, I think, medium size. You can get really tiny, thin frets, which I don't like. You can also get what we call jumbo frets, really thick, which I don't like. So these are the medium. So on the underside of this fret wire, you've got a tang which goes down into that slot, and you're not going to be able to see this, I don't think, but it's got barbs all the way along each side of this tang, both sides, the barbs. So when you put this fret down into the slot, it will grip. and it's not going to come out. Okay, so I also need my fret hammer. Just going to make sure I'm going to use this end, that's a bit tidier. Okay, so so just to bring the fret to the edge of the fretboard there. Now I don't need to support underneath here because we've got the heel which is actually touching the bench, so I'm going to be hammering straight down through there, so there's going to be no danger of any kind of damage to the neck. Okay, so start it off with the plastic side first, just to get it started. Okay, and then I'll use the brass side just to get it all the way home. Okay, that looks good. And then take my end cutters, cut the end off. Good. Okay. So I'll just make sure it's all the way in. Okay, so now I need to clean up the edges because it's obviously very sharp. So I'm going to use just one of these flat files. I'm just seeing if this has a... Yes, it does. So it has a filing edge this side, but this side it has a smooth edge. So I'm going to use that against the fretboard so that I don't cause any damage. So I just want to take off the sharp edges, but also I want to file an angle into the fret at each end. So I have to be careful not to mark the fretboard too much. Okay, it's almost there. That's good. Okay, and the other side. It's not too bad, it's nearly there. Okay, that feels quite good. I'll probably just touch it up with a little bit of sandpaper on the end. Actually, I'll use a leveling beam. So this has 4 different grits of sandpaper on it. We have 400, 600, 1000 and 1200. So I'm going to use the 600 just to smooth those edges a bit more. Okay, that's good. Yep. A little bit more on that side. Okay, that's good. Right, that's that job done. So now moving on to cutting the grooves here. Now this is going to be a little bit scary because it's not something I've done before. I'm not sure it's something that anybody has ever done before. But it's, I mean, I could have done it one of several different ways. I could have angled basically a ramp into the body here, but because of how much material I would have to take off, I would have probably end up going straight through the top here, so we would have ended up with a gap there and obviously some weakness. Another way I could do it is to drill holes from here and then come through this way, but to get those in exactly the right position would be very tricky, and to actually get the string through here and then to come out here would be nearly impossible, because I can't get my hand inside the sound hole. So these slots that I'm going to cut are the way forward for me. So let's have a little go with that. So I'm going to start with the fret saw, but because the end of the strings obviously have the winding on them here, I'll probably have to go and cut the slots at least for the bass and the middle string a bit wider. But I'll start with this and we'll see how it goes. Let me just give myself a bit more room now. Okay, here goes. Right, let's see. Okay. Right, cut number 1. So the reason I marked where the tail piece goes here is because I don't want to cut any further than that, because once the tail piece is on, you would then see the cut. So I'm going to stop at that line where the tail piece starts. Okay, so I've cut the first slot. I just want to try and test fit the string in that slot, and yeah, I can already see I'm going to need to make it bigger to allow for that winding. So I get another saw. Okay. So thankfully this time I didn't knock the camera over. Okay, so let's just make that slot a little bit ants. Okay. I think I can go a little bit further down as well. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to make all of the slots bigger even than that, but I can probably use a nut slot file. Let's just try that for size. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So I will still start the cut with this saw, because it's a very fine, precise saw, and it's going to prevent any mistakes. Okay, so I'll just make the slot a little bit bigger with the other saw. Okay, looking good. So obviously the biggest string is where I need to make the most adjustment, but I think should be able to use this one for all of them. Maybe not. Go to the other side that's slightly bigger. Let's see. Can I use that one? Yeah. That's better. That's much better. Okay, and the middle one as well. Good. I think that's probably about it. Let's just check all the strings fit in there and are able to move. We need a little bit of movement room. Yeah, that's looking good. Now I'm just going to hook up one of the strings and put the bridge more or less in place, and I'm going to see if we already get that break angle. So I need to just take one of these strings out of the tailpiece and just go with the middle string for now. Okay, and I'll just hook it through the tuner, I won't actually do it up. Underneath the string tree to keep everything in the right plane. Okay. So I don't know how well you can see that. I mean, it's not fantastic, but when that's up to tension, I think we've got enough break angle there to do the job. So I'm quite happy with that. So we'll go with that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to end this video here now because I need to do a little bit of grinding on the tailpiece to get it to sit lower on the body. So underneath we've got two pieces here on either side that actually rests on the body. So I'm going to grind these down a little bit so that the tailpiece can come down closer to the body, which will then in turn bring the strings down a bit further as well. So I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to do those little bits and pieces off camera, check it's all going to go together as I want it. Then I'll make another video which will be part 2 of this, basically putting it back together and see how it goes. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and look out for part 2. Peace out.